And ladies and gentlemen, welcome, internets. It is I, we, us, the Redemptioneers. Welcome to our show.
Hey, please God, don't
So-
put me in the thumbnail.
Do we
for
want to
this.
do the discussion on Joss Whedon's personal life as a prologue?
I feel like we got to get to it.
So-
Who wants to start? You
Just
wanna
quickly,
start?
I would like to say that being disappointed
Killed your paper today. Oh, sorry.
being disappointed in someone who you don't actually have a personal relationship with, but is someone whose stuff you liked, because you may have put them on a pedestal, is not the healthiest way to approach life. And I have a bit of advice for everyone who's really upset that Joss Whedon might turn out to not be as feminist as we want him to be, or as feminist as he said he was, is that we're all flawed, and maybe we all get like a chance or 2 or 15 to not be perfect people. And so I'm still going to enjoy watching the stuff that he's made that I've enjoyed. It's not going to keep me from that. But I'm also someone who still likes Roman Polanski movies.
Me too.
Just, for context, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I like Woody Allen. I see every Woody Allen movie. I just do. Can't
Yeah,
help it.
I'm basically in the same boat. I've been able to separate art from an artist for years, and you kind of have to, because it's like Illyrio said. It's just like if you start like just getting rid of like everything fictional that you like because of the person behind it, and something that they may do or say that you at the very least find questionable, then you're just going to have to throw all of it out. It's just sort of inevitable that, like, some people I've noticed over the years, and this is not for everyone, of course, it's just observational and subjective, but I've noticed that people who usually are the most do the most moral grandstanding tend to be either overcompensating for or deflecting from the skeletons in their own closet. Like Bill Cosby or Lena Dunham, people like that. So you tend to just sort of like, well, all right, I'm not really cool with this person, but I don't actually know them either. But I can still, enjoy their art. I mean, I've had a personal run-in on Twitter with Adam Baldwin. Like, yeah, that guy's a jerk. I speak from personal experience, but he's a good actor, and I will watch and enjoy Firefly. So,
Right.
you take what you can get.
As for me, I can't watch any Woody Allen movies. I definitely can't do any Bill Cosby stuff anymore, and that definitely hurts me because Bill Cosby was a big part of my life. I've no idea what's up with Lena Dunham. I never watched Girls, so maybe I'm just.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with her show. Like, I don't want to get into it. Like, it's some pretty.
Okay.
It's some pretty dark, messed up stuff.
Okay. But yeah, it definitely makes me feel icky to even know about people's personal lives, and I'm kind of sad that I had to learn about that. But then again, it's like one side. I don't know. All I know is I met Joss. He was nice.
Yeah, I mean that's also an issue too, and not to take anything away from his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And they don't. His sort of non-statement at the end of the piece, the little editorial, like doesn't deny anything either. It basically says like yeah, some of the stuff in there is exaggerated. So it's like, okay, well, you're basically saying like, yeah.
Like some of the stuff that she put into that article was almost like, okay, I'm going to quote what he wrote to me.
Yeah.
pretty sad.
I mean, I probably the only thing that I just sort of 100% disagree with her on is the idea of, like, you know, she's telling people, like, don't give him any awards for feminism. And it's like, look, okay, I understand you're upset, but calm the hell down. Like, you can be a flawed, crappy person and still have your heart in the right place of, like, you know, push. Like I've been involved with in a roundabout way with Can't Stop the Serenity and Equality Now for years now. And just because Joss Whedon likes women a little too much, if you know what I'm saying, does not change the fact that, like, he's done an awful lot for women who've been abused and you know, especially in other countries, you know, outside of the US. So I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater, basically.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder, you know, back when I watched Buffy for the first time and I thought, oh, this man is a genius. This man, you know, I wonder if it would have came out then, if I would have been, like, personally offended and hurt.
Right.
But I don't think so. But, like, just because he says he's a feminist, that's not saying I'm perfect. I'm the perfect feminist. I'm what you should try to emulate. You know,
Right.
nobody is perfect. And from reading what her words, I mean, I don't know, but she's very, very hurt.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I feel so sorry for her, and I wish that I didn't know any of this. It makes me feel icky too. I don't want to know this. I don't want to bury my head in the sand, but
Right.
But it's
I'm
also
just-
like none of our business.
it's none
No,
of my
it's
business.
not, and that's-
He did not break any marriage vow to me. It's not.
Yeah,
he did nothing to me.
It kind of, it bugs me that, you know, she starts out that whole thing with saying, like, oh, I'm a private person, and it's like, well,
If you were a private person, then
this is
wouldn't have written.
this is really immature. Like, again, I understand you're upset, but it's like, don't do this. Just don't.
Well, I would like to just mention that it's perfectly okay for someone to, when they see hypocrisy, try to point it out. And I think that there's a lot of potential baggage that comes from being Jesus Christ's partner. And I think that to kind of counterbalance that kind of, you know, maybe stigma, you might air some dirty laundry. Now, does the dirty laundry matter to me? No, we all have dirty laundry. I have some literally 4 feet from me, literal dirty laundry.
You monster.
I know. And the thing is, and I don't even fold it right away when it's clean. Like that's.
Oh God, I'm leaving right now. I can't do this.
But the way I see things is the following: I don't care what he does in his personal life when it comes to how I can appreciate what he's created. The thing that we're discussing is not is what he's created in direct contradiction to these revelations. Is this a person who was the verb escapes me, but who was touting himself as a defender of women while at the same time doing the opposite, right? And so that's one thing that's valid. We should be able to ask questions like that, just like we should ask questions about people who say that they're pro workers' rights, but it turns out that they get paid by, you know, like corporations, and they're not really on the side of workers. Regardless, this is a multidimensional thing. I think the actual sordid details are unfortunate, but it does bear into question if someone has allowed themselves to be portrayed as a defender of women's rights, as a feminist, when in reality, in their own personal life, they can't live up to that image. Does the image in and of itself, do they have a responsibility to tell people, actually, you guys, I'm not really that awesome? Or do you just let people think what they think and you live your life and then you just do your best, which is the only thing any of us can ever do anyway, right?
Well, it's funny.
I'm sure he was doing his best. But sometimes that's not good enough. And sometimes, like I said on Facebook, it's easier to talk the talk than walk the walk. And we all falter. We all have that extra brownie when we shouldn't. And there are way too many opportunities for us to be to have our feet held to the fire. Is a creation of a persona more than what we actually try to live ourselves, right? Like Joss Whedon is bigger than just this guy, and he could never. No one can live up to that. No one can live up to that. When you actually look and do research into Mother Teresa, no one could live up to Mother Teresa's image, even Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if we're going to get upset or we're going to persecute someone for not living up to an image that they are not entirely responsible for, I can't get behind that. And so I'm not personally affected by it. I'm not affected by it to an extent where I'm going to boycott his stuff, or I'm not going to watch his stuff or be interested by the things he does. But he was never a personal hero of mine. So that's not something that I now don't have in my life. And I think that for people who are basically grieving the loss of a hero, I get it. But maybe take this opportunity to analyze the idea that anytime you expect people to live up to expectations that they don't set themselves, this is what happens. Anyway, I've gone on very long, and I know that, John, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that there's actually an episode of Firefly that deals with this very thing. It's called Janestown. And it's about Jane Cobb going to this town where he had previously spent some time, and there was this whole story about him like dropping money from a plane.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, that
don't listen, Kim.
That had the
It's okay, I'm
going to do it. That had rained all this money down on these townspeople, and they took it. They started to worship him. They put up a big statue of him, and then it turns out there's like all these circumstances where like no, he actually did that because he was intending to get away with the money, but he needed to jettison the money because he couldn't take off fast enough with it. And there's this whole thing between Mal and Jane at the end where Mal says, they're probably putting that statue right back up, and Jane just doesn't understand. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm a scumbag. They all know I'm a scumbag, and it's basically sometimes people just need something to worship. They need something to aspire to, whether that is, and once that gets removed for them, sometimes they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do. And so they'll find any way to excuse it and say like, well, he's still a great man. Like, well, Joss Whedon has never been a great man. I've been suspicious of him in that regard for a while now. This is not the first sort of offense.
Okay, see, I've heard a lot of people say that, John. Can you explain that?
I can. I'm a little hesitant because it's kind.
Is it kind of like what you were saying earlier? People who are like grandstanding the loudest, or the ones.
It's because it gets into some political stuff, and I don't want to offend anyone. But I'll just say that this past election that we had in the United States in 2016, it revealed things about a lot of people that I kind of took a step back and went, oh, so you're not like, yeah, you talk a big game. It's like Illyrio said. It's like, but you're not actually walking the walk. You're kind of full of crap. So, you just kind of like, I just look at Joss Whedon as like, well, he's this guy who, allegedly cheated on his wife a bunch. And I don't also look at that as like, because some people are saying, we're sort of revoking his status as a feminist. Like, oh, he's not a feminist. It's like, well, that just means he failed his wife and he was kind of crappy to his wife. That doesn't mean he hates women all of a sudden. You can still be a feminist. Like, you're just not like a great one, I guess.
Well, I guess you're not a perfect one.
Right.
And
And
who is?
and how do you define that? Everybody has their own idea of like what makes a feminist, or even a good feminist, or a perfect feminist. So it's like, how do you? Because it's not like it's just a sort of status that some people can come along and decide to give you or take away whenever they choose. So, what does it really mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
I think it means it's time to start the show.
Yes.
And this is all before you've introduced me, so people are probably like, who the hell is this jackass?
Who's this jerk?
Well, we wanted to thank Joss Whedon for coming on the show today.
Thanks, Joss.
Third person.
Later, skater.
All right, but I'm glad we could talk, and that's why I ended up putting the post in the group. I was discouraging Steph from putting it in there, and then I realized it was going to be kind of a big thing, and I figured we all needed to talk about it. So
I feel better.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the show. Let's do our traditional intro, and I'll play some music, but not really because I'm going to edit it in. You're listening to RedemptionCast Season 4, Episode 11 and 12, Solace and Calvary. Angelus plays mind games with the gang, eventually leading to his soul being stolen, escaping his cage, and trying to kill Lila, but Cordy stabs her in the throat. Dun dun dun.
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes!
What a twist.
My name is Robin.
Stephanie.
This is Kimberly.
I'm Lirio.
Hey, I'm John.
Hey, John. John, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. I'm real excited.
Boy, you picked a humdinger and a half.
Oh, yeah. I really love these 2 episodes for obvious reasons we will get into.
Why? It's just a bunch of talking.
I saw a review of Solace
Question
and I was
asked, question answered.
All right. None of your opinions matter except Kim. Kim,
Yes.
okay.
what did you think?
Well, first of all, I was so excited to see my favorite character in this universe reintroduce Angelus. And I was like,
He was so amazing.
can we talk about okay, so if we talk about both episodes,
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't just gonna be there one episode. So at the end I was like, yes, and the next episode I was like, yes, and then now I can't wait to see what's happening in the next episode, which I have not watched, and I was like this close to starting, and
This
I was like,
is
no,
so
okay.
hard. I watched these episodes 2 weeks ago,
Oh.
and I have been dying to watch the next one. And thank God for early leaks of Game of Thrones episodes. Oh,
Distracted.
Well, let's hopefully these next episodes of Angel don't leak to you at all.
I know, right?
Hopefully.
I do want to apologize. I really was hoping to get you guys to sit down and do a commentary for one of these
Oh, good.
episodes, and the fans were reaching out for it. Our listeners.
Sorry, guys and girls.
It's coming. It's coming. I'm sure you guys
Sometimes
will
happens.
do another one.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I'll be honest, I really considered watching the rest of the season and just bullshitting. I really, really thought about pulling that, and I couldn't because
I don't blame you. I do
you know,
not blame you.
oh,
mean like
so
Gabby?
good. Oh, don't you dare. Don't you besmirch the name of Gab.
I'm just kidding.
No, no, that's not cool, dude. Don't do that. Do not feed the trolls.
Gabby never watched ahead. I will say this
No,
on record and
never.
on tape and on CD.
She's just smarter than the rest of you guys. Tough shit.
I will say that Angel did have a 2-week hiatus after Calvary, so
Oh, yeah?
it's almost
Awesome.
like you're watching it live.
I get to share in original cruelty. This is great.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God. Really? They had a 2-week hiatus?
Mhm.
Like for no reason? Or was it usually something they did every year at this time? Or
No, I mean it was these aired in like mid-February, so maybe they
Okay.
were trying to.
Catch up to May.
Yeah, I don't know.
So was this February sweeps?
Maybe.
Do you guys
Must
remember
be.
that sweeps?
Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet.
This is right around the time when they were doing. Buffy was doing First Date, Get It Done, Storyteller. Right around the same time.
I don't remember any of those episode names.
Storytelling was the one with Andrew.
Andrew and his camera.
Ew.
Okay.
What was first date?
First date was when Buffy went on a date with Principal Wood, and it was awkward.
His name was Ryan.
And then what was the other real?
Get it done.
Get it done.
I don't remember the meat of that episode, but it ended with Spike basically like finding himself and getting his mojo back, and he like puts on his coat and lights up a cigarette. And he's like, "Get it done."
That's actually the big Larry the Cable Guy episode.
Get her done.
Oh yeah.
Quick question about this episode, Soulless. So I usually
we only have a minute.
I usually don't pay attention to the credits, but it said directed by Sean Astin. Is it that Sean
Yes,
Astin?
that Sean Astin. Yes.
Aston, yeah. I have some trivia
Wait a
here
second.
for you.
The son of John Astin from Days of Our Lives?
Oh, shut up.
Are you serious?
Days of Our Lives.
No, his dad was John Astin from the
Adam's
Addams
Family.
Family.
What?
And the
His
Frighteners.
mom was Patty Duke, I believe.
Yep.
Are you guys
So-
serious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was the
Samwise
other
Gamgee
Astin.
directed this episode right around the time.
No, I know Samwise did.
Samwise Gamgee.
So you know his directing experience. He only directed a couple shorts before this, and an episode of some show called "100 Deeds of Eddie Dowd," "Perversions of Science," and Jeremiah. That's all he's directed before. It
That's
says
pretty impressive considering I thought this episode was amazing, even though there's a lot of talking back and forth.
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed sitting and watching these extra long scenes.
Yeah. After Astin told writer, director, and close friend Doug Petrie about his fervent desire to be directing episodic television, he shadowed producers David Greenwald and Tim Minear for several weeks to get a feel for the series before he was given this episode to direct. So he was just like hanging out on the set of Angel. He says, television sort of mandates that you keep moving, but you don't want to stop. Angelus has so many layers and so many different shades and qualities. You want to keep exploring them and mining them and pulling them out. It's such a rich, meaty character for him to do. He's good at evil. It's a little creepy.
That's awesome.
So good.
So, wow, where are we going to start? I did want to say happy Blot Out the Sun Day too. Since like we're kind of sharing a timeline here now with Angel.
Absolutely fantastic.
So yeah, the city's kind of in chaos. You know, there's people fighting in the streets and stuff. Vampires coming out of the shadows and taking over. And
Yeah, we call them
Connor's-
neo-Nazis.
Connor calls them tourists.
That was funny. That
Yeah.
was great.
Like he should. Anyways, never.
Oh,
know, it's not like-
yeah. Let's talk
He's-
about it, Kim.
He's not been in LA for very long either.
Are
so it's
you
like
on the
whatever.
Connor train yet, Kim?
No, never. I don't like him. I just want him gone.
So I like him more than I like Dawn.
Uh-huh.
I especially enjoy some of the bullshit that happens between him and Angelus, and even him and Angel.
Hmm.
I don't really dig the whole the him and Cordy thing. Was just I don't ever want to
Oh, it's so hot though.
think.
You know it's
no,
not-
it's not.
Did you guys,
Stop it.
did you guys when that happened, did you guys talk about the behind the scenes of that, about what Charisma Carpenter said about shooting those scenes?
I think we talked about what Stupid Face said, but I don't know about Charisma
Vincent Kartheiser is basically saying he had to like hover above her.
because she was pregnant. But what did Charisma say?
Oh, she said apparently it was hard to shoot because he had like really long, gnarly toenails, and they kept scraping her, and she didn't like it.
Oh!
Yeah,
So gross.
yeah.
Okay, so never mind. what I
Is it
said
hot now?
Even
Uh,
worse.
It's, nope, never on the train. Goodbye.
The only
That's
thing
the
I
weird
will
thing
say
is that-
I enjoyed about Connor is when they started their first little bit of back and forth, him and Angelus. They
Yeah.
were going at it like quip for quip, toe to toe, fast paced, and I was like, yeah. I had a couple chuckles. I'm like, they were going toe to toe. I was like, that was the one bit when I was like, okay, and then it quickly faded because I'm like, oh, I just remembered who he was, and I was like, get off the screen.
let's break some of that down. Let's take a pause and talk about. I mean, I love each one of these, like, you know, Angelus as Hannibal Lecter scenes.
Right.
The whole thing, like, basically, like, he's just constantly trying to break each one of these folks down, and he tells Connor, like, if you're gonna chances of him staking Angelus, he's gonna end up staking himself first. That he made his mother sick, and she ended up killing herself because she couldn't deal with him, and so did Holtz. And then he just totally calls out the whole Oedipus thing. He's like, there should be a story for that. Yeah, I don't want to say all the quotes, but good stuff. And you know, it's even more interesting because, you know, Connor got his shirt messed up while he was out fighting, so he ends up wearing one of Angel's shirts. So it's I don't know. He's like, oh, you're trying to, like, kind of take my place. You gotta get Cordy or whatever. I like that Connor says that, you know, like, Angel is just like some sort of mask that Angelus just wears, and Angelus is actually his real father. So I just like that whole scene. I don't know.
That was amazing. It was great.
Yeah, because it's like Connor likes Angelus. It's like, hey, I'd rather have you as my father than old lame-mo Angel.
Right.
I don't know if he
Can we talk
likes
about
him, but-
Well,
can we talk about Gunn?
oh
No.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is what happens when you kill a guy for a girl and she's not into you anymore.
It's a classic story of
Classic story.
professor for girl,
And there's this constant hey dude, get off my girl.
Yeah. Yeah, Gun was
Bullshit from him.
it's like on the at the core of it, like, I understood where Gunn was coming from, but like on the surface, it's like, dude, don't talk about her like that. Just ew. Like, what are you doing? He was just very dude bro about the whole thing.
Oh.
So like when he breaks up with Fred, I'm like, you know, I feel like this should be reversed because
Yeah.
I'd be like, A, you hit me, and B, you like
Well,
you
Well,
talk
hold
about
on.
me
That
like
was
I'm gonna
completely
say-
accidental, though.
I don't
That
care.
was
I don't
completely
care.
accidental.
I don't care if he can't, like, control his temper to the point where, like, he's randomly punching people. Then, like, yeah, we don't need to
hold
be in a
on.
relationship.
His whole life is punching things. Well, hold on a second. Hold on. His whole life is punching things. He's a physical. He's a physical force. He's about killing demons. He's about hitting things. He just killed a guy. Right. He got stupid angry and did something stupid and was going to fight with Wesley, or did fight with Wesley. The details are fuzzy in my mind. And wasn't it just he was reaching back to swing?
Yeah.
Now, let's be clear. This is not the first time Fred has been around him when he got aggressive and was going to hit something. So there should be already like a precedent with regards to the personal space bubble he needs when he's doing his backswing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he shouldn't apologize, but
Right.
it's not like, you know, you hit me. Well, come on, calm down. I accidentally hit you. I apologize right away. I didn't want to hit you. That was not okay. But come on. Anyway,
I mean, that's
I think
fair.
he's terrible for other reasons.
I feel like he should be over it by now. I feel like there should be enough. He's been on the show for long enough to where, like, he should have some character growth of, like, okay, he should be more in control of his temper by now. I would say.
Yeah.
I agree. However, it's very frustrating watching these episodes because again, I'm going to say we've been conditioned now to like binge watch shows one after another, whereas this show was an episode where he got angry and whatever. It could have been months between, right? So we're not used to seeing Gunn flare up the way he does if we were to binge watch it. I think I mentioned last week that I was again, all these shows from like the 90s before the 2000s or the very early 2000s, I started watching them again on Netflix, and I'm like, there is no way that I would have watched this show if it was on back in the day, because everybody deserves to be punched in the throat. Everybody deserves to be like regulated because they're all so annoying.
Are you talking about Friends? Are you talking about Friends?
I'm talking about every show. Every show. Everyone's cheating on everybody else. Everyone's like doing things behind people's backs. If this were real life, these people would not even talk to each other anymore, let alone still be involved with each other. Like it's frustrating again, because again, right now what's going on in the world, being a very uber feminist and this and that. I'm like, there's no way that these women would still be with these disgusting males in this universe, right? And I'm watching
Look at his abs.
Yeah. But I'm watching it going like, what the hell is wrong with these girls? You know? But anyways.
I will say, there I can't believe I'm going for this joke. There were
Thank you, Robin. Moving on.
There were people. I would say we're talking a lot about like Gunn and his anger, but there was problems on both sides.
Oh no, you didn't. Oh no.
Gunn like tells
you didn't even do it. You didn't even do it right.
Gunn tells him to stay away from what's his, but Wes seriously like says like, "Oh, you're just mad you can't give her what she needs." I mean, what the hell, Wesley?
Well, and also they know that Angelus is an agent of chaos, that he is there to take their words and actions and twist it and make them at it. They know that this is going to happen, but they can't stop it. It happens anyway.
They almost bait anyway.
Yeah.
Steph is 100% right. And there were even times when it's like, because they go through the whole episode, like they're just words, like he'll just try to manipulate you, like don't let him get to you. But like there are times when they not only take the bait, they actually give him stuff to use. Like they answer his questions and crap like that. It's like, why are you even like indulging this guy or anything?
Don't even talk to him.
Yeah,
don't go near the cage. Get away from the cage.
No, unfortunately, they're trying to get information out of him, so it's like they just got to keep.
Don't feed the troll.
To get the
exactly.
But it just drives me nuts because at the beginning of the episode, they're on rocky footing. They break up, and then within a half an hour of them breaking up, she's like, "Well, I guess I'm single, Wes. Let's."
Well, that was in Calvary. Like, hold on.
It's true, but still, yeah.
These two really kind of fused together for me most of the time.
That's true.
I will say though that Wesley reaching out and kissing Fred was weird. It was really out of nowhere. Like, dude, are you buying what Angelus is selling you?
It's like, it's called tact, dude. Like,
boundaries.
Yeah,
and learn to read the room.
He goes for her again in the second episode and gets kind of interrupted by Lila. It's like, dude, back off.
Give it a minute, man.
Exactly.
Can I read a quote from Amy Acker talking about the whole gun break?
I want to hear it.
Amy says, in LA, I hardly ever get recognized, but if I do, it's always by the last person I would ever expect to watch the show. There was a man at McDonald's the day after Wesley had kissed me and Gunn had walked in. He goes, "Fred, how you gonna dog my man Gunn like that?" He was yelling at me in the middle of McDonald's, and I was like, "It's not really me. I'm an actress. I didn't do it, really." They're definitely diehard fans.
Oh, that's sweet.
What the hell is Amy Acker doing at a McDonald's? That's a bullshit story.
Maybe the McDLC was back.
What did we just talk about with pedestals, Illyrio? Celebrities are people too. They eat crappy food just like the rest of us.
But the thing about Wesley kissing Fred, we have seen that Wesley is the type of person that doesn't wait anymore. He acts just
It's
like
because he
when-
took his glasses off.
Yeah.
and he's been going to the gym and he got a haircut
Yep.
or something. So, but he didn't wait to talk about options with everybody. He just went and got the soul guy, the soul getter person.
The Wu-Tang.
Han Wu-Tang.
The Wu-Tang clan.
Yeah.
The clansmen, the Wu-Tang clansmen.
So that is Wesley now. He does not wait. He goes for it.
He don't want to wait.
Stop.
I already walked off this podcast once. Don't make me do it again.
So I like how Wesley is like saying I've trained my whole life for this moment. This is a high point for me. And there was a bit of trivia I found that reminded me that in Bad Girls, the episode Bad Girls from Buffy, when Wesley meets Angel, he has no idea who he is. So it's a little bit of a retconning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I gotta say, all of the Angela scenes were quite awesome.
Hell
Very
yeah, they were.
pleasing. It was just wonderful. I was worried that we weren't gonna get like some nice meaty Angellas. We got tons of Angellas!
Oh, so much.
And now he's on the loose and he has an accomplice? What?
How did you guys feel about how gross he was talking about women in this episode? I mean, really gross. How bony Fred is, and that Cordy's got a great rack, but she talks too much.
Although the tone is not the best, I mean, you can't dispute his facts.
It's terrible.
Oh.
In the second, are we jumping around? Can we jump around?
Go for it.
Because,
Go for
it.
Jump around.
Jump.
So there are
Yeah,
just
he got
lines that he said that I kind of went. I audibly gasped. I was like, "There's no way that they would say that on
Right?
TV today." And I was just like, "Whoa!" Talking about rape and retarded. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both R words were used in the
Yeah.
same episode.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
You got to remember, like this was
Wow.
quite a ways back. But also this was on the WB, which was a very small. So they were a lot like cable back then. Like they could just sort of get away with because nobody was watching. Like they.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
but
mean
for
it.
some
I don't
reason-
mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. I just mean like
They were under the radar.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of under the radar, I hadn't seen this comment from Buffy Summers. I declare this a gun-free zone. Sorry, sorry, Buffy. I wish I would have read that earlier.
I think the one that shocked me the most was in Calvary when he was talking about how Wesley's got such a great accent, and girls really dig accents, and he tells Fred like point blank, he's like, "I'm going to you want me to use my Irish brogue while I rape you to death." I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's jeez, Angelus.
That was so like what? I had to be like, did he really just say what I thought he said?
Yeah.
I can't believe that they would actually say that, which is usually television you progress and you get a little bit more edgy, but now they're like, you can't say that on TV now. You cannot.
Maybe on like prestige dramas, like on AMC or something. So yeah, he gets a hold of Fred after the whole cart with blood incident, and luckily they have trank guns, so
And it's
that
like-
helps.
That's not the way you do
Alright.
that anyway. Like you put it on a tray and put it on the ground and then slide it
Yep.
to the bars to him. That's how you do that.
I got to tell you guys, this whole tranquilizer gun thing is such bullshit.
Yeah, he has no blood coursing through his veins. How would he?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ugh.
This is dumb.
Spike smokes, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they've been inconsistent, we'll say, with the rules for years now. So
Yeah,
just
I know, but
go with
still, doesn't mean I can be less of a pedant.
SOD.
it. I know.
That's okay. So we do find out why Angelus is connected to the Beast is because he actually met him in 1789 in Prussia. Apparently, the Beast staged this whole trail of dead soldiers to impress him because he wanted him to kill the Svee princesses, or priestesses, I should say. But Angelus
man.
was like, nope.
When Angel started talking about the Prussian girls and how sweet their blood is because of all the pastries they eat, it made me want donuts. I want some donuts really badly.
Oh yeah, how about the scene where they go check out the priestesses? Like you can find them in the yellow pages apparently.
I love that. That was so great, and that they were close by.
Yeah,
it's like they actually had a place in the area. That was.
And Connor
I kind of chuckled because at that time it was Fred and Wesley going through these ancient texts because they could read it, and then Gunn's like, "I'm gonna go to the yellow
phone book."
Bam.
And Connor being completely disturbed by this dead kid, which is another thing. I'm like, wow, they're really showing a lot of this dead, like 8-year-old or whatever, like laying there. On the floor.
That was crazy. Kim, you love that, right?
Oh yeah, dead babies. Woo.
I was pretty surprised, and I enjoyed that. I think that there's too much of a veil on, a fiction, but we can't go too far in fiction. Whatever. It really hits it home. Terrible demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that beast. Or maybe it wasn't the beast. Like Cordy makes a deal, says that if he tells her what happened, that she's all his. I just remember like watching this for the first time. All this stuff was just so freaking epic and like, oh my God, like edge of my seat. You know? I'm just enjoying it now, but man, I wish I could watch it for the first time again.
I have been waiting since Innocence for Angelus to come back.
Right. I mean, isn't it amazing? This is season 4 of this show.
Yeah.
And they're just Angelus.
You would think they would like. I mean, they make Angel lose control several times in the series, but it's never Angelus.
They hint at it. Total cock teasing the entire way, and then I yesterday when I was watching it, if you know, I restrained myself and only posted one video, but I was going nuts. I don't know why
that's why they did it. They made you wait for it, so it felt all the greater when he finally showed up.
Exactly, and then again, I'm jumping around, but in the second episode when we think Angel is back and he's not, the entire time like, no way. You're
like, they wouldn't just do this for one episode.
No. And I thought it was really cool on David Boreanaz that he got a chance to show some pretty good range, because he's always brooding, and I think in Angel, like Angel the series, he's got a chance to be a bit more comedic and show like some actual real personality. But this episode, these 2 episodes, I'm like, how mentally and physically draining must it have been to like just go through the difference in the characters that he had to play.
I think I have a quote.
Of course you do.
It's in the Angel book. I didn't like it too much, but I'll read it. Here we go. For me, it's always been a matter of tapping into the wicked stuff and having fun with Angelus, really heightening and exploring his personality, depending upon the type of scene he's going into and the circumstances surrounding him. I kind of look at the whole and make it as simple as I possibly can, but at the same time, bring out that demon in him. It's pretty hard to say how I really prepare for it. There's a lot of things I do that I'd rather not discuss. Which makes it a what?
Okay.
but still at the same time, one of the things that I do is just understand the character and where he's coming from by doing my homework as far as what the scene is all about, playing the scene and then getting into him that way. So it's very like actor lead business type. But the whole like, I don't want to talk about what I do.
I don't want to talk about my craft.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, that's.
Yeah, because we're gonna steal all your roles if we know your secrets. Whatever, man.
So, gosh, I mean, do we have anything more to talk about in Soulless? I feel like
I just like one of my favorite things about it. I mean, Steph, jokingly said it was like, oh, it's just a bunch of people talking, and I was like, yeah, because like the way that it's crafted and the way it plays out, like the debates and arguments, they're the action scenes in that episode, and it's like this little, one act play, or like a little like self-contained, bottle episode, or literally a locked room drama because Angel's locked in a cage. So like, I love stuff like that because we've so much of the season, has been surrounded by these big, lofty, bombastic spectacles, like with all these crazy special effects and big set pieces and elaborately designed, sets and locations, giant monsters. And then here we just have, this really evil person chipping away at the goodness in everybody else and finding their flaws and exploiting those flaws to attack each other. And he's doing it all while restrained inside this cage. Yeah. And so all that stuff is really fun and impressive to watch, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's really cool that here's this guy that is just like evil incarnate, and he knows everybody's secrets, and he's just telling them all now. And there's a secret that comes down in the next episode too. But the one that's in here is the fact that he reveals that to everybody that Connor and Cordy were sleeping together.
Oh yeah, when Fred is like, oh
yeah,
yeah.
And just kind of, he knows the whole Wesley. He's been dealing with the Wesley Gunn Fred triangle for a couple of years now as Angel. That he's just like, he knows exactly what strings to pull there.
Yeah,
and what everybody's problems are.
That's always the advantage he has, is people have been honest and forthright, and they've been open and sharing with Angel. And Angelus comes out and uses all that against you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at the
moral of the story: don't tell anybody anything. Keep everything to yourself. Yeah. Don't share.
No sharing.
And so
like Alex P. Keaton.
At the end of the episode, Cordy tells Angelus that he's like a disease that they're going to get rid of, and then they go back and the safe is empty.
That was crazy. I'm like, what is going on? Who's doing this?
Yes, and you're like, that's terrible, but that's great.
Yeah.
It's like, it's great for me because I'm watching.
Yeah. I don't want Angelus.
But oh no, these poor souls.
Yeah. So do we want to do ratings and quotes and then talk about Calvary in detail?
Sure.
Yeah, I think
Forget about feedback.
I don't know if Kim's actually around. Kim, are you back? I know it looks like you're there, but Kim's a little bit absent. So let's give her a chance by letting our guest go first.
All right. I'm not sure if this quote is in Soulless or if it's in the next episode, but I'm just going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Well, looks like for the first time in your life, you're just not dark enough.
That's the next episode. Yeah.
Damn it.
That's the flamethrower. Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry.
Kim, hey Kim, yeah, we're doing quotes for the first part.
Quotes already.
Yeah, we're wrapping up the first one and getting to the even better one.
Yeah, so we can talk about the second one.
Okay.
More detail.
What did I miss? Who did quotes? Who did what quote?
John did a quote, but it was from the wrong episode.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm racking my brain.
I'll do one.
Okay.
I'll do one. Doing your mom and trying to kill your dad. There should be a play.
Is that
Yeah.
my shirt? Not anymore. Looks good on you, son. So did Cordy. She looks good on everybody. Oh God, that's awful.
It's terrible.
So bad. Well, you can just look at the Facebook page for my favorite quote, but I will put down. He distorts the truth. He tells lies with the truth. That's what makes him so dangerous. Cordelia.
Oops.
Yeah.
Turn off my notifications. Sorry. My quote is, "Oh God. Oh, Angel. Angel, we can't. I love you, but you're so bad. You ate babies. Chicks."
Oh man, what an asshole.
You know, you're not fooling anyone. Get some new clothes, cool haircut, hit the gym. You're still the same loser none of the other kids want to sit with at lunch.
Hey, open
Oh,
book.
yeah.
Anything you want to know? How sweet that virgin gypsy tasted? Special smell of a newborn's neck? My first nun. Now that's a great story.
Awesome.
Damn it! Every line I keep thinking of, it comes from the next episode. For some, it's because I watched them back to back, and they're they're so like contained, and they seamlessly go one right into the other.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Agreed.
I guess I just don't have one for Soulless then.
Let's rate it, shall we?
So 10s across the board.
10.
Nope. 10. Gunn was an
Rating
idiot.
system.
Gunn was an idiot. 9.5 for me.
Well, it's a 10 for me because for what I mentioned earlier, there are the same reasons. That it's this great this little one act play. There's a lot of really great dialogue. Angelus is such a heel. He's such a great villain. Even when he's locked in a cage. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10. Glasses of blood. I don't know.
Okay, I'm in the process of opening my points Excel sheet.
Okay, well, I will go. I mean, you're just on the edge of your seat. You're like, it's just dialogue. Why am I on the edge of my seat? But 10.
It's really good dialogue.
10 out of
It's
10 not shiny moments.
How would you track like off the charts? Because I don't think 10 gives us justice.
Ooh, really?
How much I love this episode. Anything Angelus?
Yeah.
Because Illyria, I have been waiting.
I understand.
I've been so thirsty.
Like you don't understand. And I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm giving it extra points, but there are parts where I didn't really enjoy. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna gloss it over because I love Angelus so much. 10 out of 10 trank darts.
Yay.
Why are villains just so compelling? Like it's
exciting to watch because everybody wants to be happy, everybody wants to do whatever, but when you spice it up with a little bit of bad blood, it's just like, ooh, okay, here we go for 5 minutes. Yeah, so good.
It's true that a hero is only as good as their villain, and villains are compelling because they tap into that part that's in all of us where they get to do and say all the things that we just can't.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
So, just to officially record my rating. Sorry. Kim, you know how you get to go over the charts? By me, because you liked it so much, changing my 9.5 to a 10. So I have some overflow. 10 out of 10 flawed showrunners. Wait, now let's try 10 out of 10. This episode was written by 2 women. 10 out of 10.
Seraphine.
Mr. Frodo! Mr. Frodo! Yeah, there you go.
All right, and I'm going to obviously give it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 is Stray Baby Toes because Angelus rocks, and I think one of the best things about having Angelus is that all this time, we're watching the show, we're like, damn, these characters, they're pissing me off about this way or that way. And Angelus just shows up and he's like, all right, we're going to call it all out right now. You suck, you suck, you suck, and here's why.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, it looks like Solus is the best episode of the season so far, unless something else ties it.
Yeah,
We'll
no
see what
shit.
how Calvary does.
I finally thought of a quote from Solus.
Oh, good.
That was easy.
All
right.
I love it. Just laying there in the cell, listening.
Let's talk about the next one.
Calvary.
So I would like to start with an observation.
Mhm.
In this day of whitewashing Hollywood and Asian actors being not even considered for Asian parts, I would just like everyone to be aware that Wu Pang, who is entirely covered and could have been played by anyone really, was played by a real Asian.
Yeah.
And so I would like to commend Joss Whedon and David Greenwald and, whoever made these decisions. Could have been Nicky Rourke. Yeah, could have been.
Could have been.
So we now have our answer to our question of how is this supposed to be an inside job?
What did you guys think about this? How much did you freak out in that last 30 seconds?
Way to come back from contract negotiations. Are we gonna finally talk about contract negotiations, Robin, or do we have to wait still?
We have to wait.
All right, that's fine. That's fair.
I'd rather just give you the whole story than just reveal little tiny pieces.
Got it. I got it.
I would like to say that I was a little distracted this episode because every scene Cordelia was in, the way that they shot her,
Agreed.
and the way she was framed, and she was wearing that big coat all the time, she never took it off, and it's like I now see what you guys are doing. It's not very subtle.
It's really cold in that hotel, though.
Uh-huh.
It's so crazy. She's just wearing a winter coat. And nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she's about to hop on a dragon and fly north. I don't know.
That's true.
There's that moment when Connor is putting on Angel's shirt, and they have that little exchange in Solus, and she goes to the door to leave, and they don't cut back to her until the door is open so that she can sort of hide behind it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know what you guys are doing.
And the way she handed him the shirt, and then the way he took it, and then she turned a little bit, I was like, this is a little too choreographed.
And there are a lot of close-ups of Charisma Carpenter's face in these two episodes.
Yeah, that's the only thing that took away from the episode. I totally agree.
I didn't notice.
A little distracting.
Yeah, I really didn't notice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at blocking very much.
I was looking for it as well because I don't know, just always done that when I know female leads are pregnant. They did it in Scandal. I was like, oh, this is so yeah.
Lila. So happy to see her. I hope she's not dead.
Lila Calendar.
When she came in, I was just like, "What's this rat doing here?" That's what I fully said when she.
Wow.
And then later, she kind of scurries away.
She has been hanging out in the sewers,
just like a rat. And then I think even Gunn says something like, "Yeah, she is a rat." And
yeah, he does. He does call her a rat.
And it's just kind of funny. Again, the way she's running and the way Wesley runs after her, I'm just like, these are the two slowest runners ever. It looks like they're just taking a little casual jog around Central
They have to because they don't have a lot of track.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is.
It
true.
looks like
that one sort of tunnel of the sewer. That's like the only space that they have, because that's why they filmed it at 2 different angles, because it's like, okay, it's like we can put the camera all the way down here at the end and film them coming towards the camera, and then we go to the other side of the set and put the camera there and film them running away from the camera.
It was just, it made me chuckle because I'm like, okay, I get it, but they're just jogging.
Pretty much. Well, they don't want to slip in the poo. I don't. Yeah.
True.
Lila only lives like a block away, but just like in the sewers.
Yeah.
Also, isn't it weird that like there's this huge precaution of keeping Angelus locked up, and but yet there's like just this open entryway from the sewers that anybody can just walk in anytime and let him out. I mean, if he is in communication with the Beast, as was suspected, if Beast didn't feel like using the front door, he could have walked in through the cellar entrance.
Yeah.
So Gunn and Fred are officially broken up. So.
Yay! No more pancake breakfasts.
That she won't eat.
Yeah, it's tea and crumpets for her.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I gotta say, at least poor J. August Richards could get away and do like a funny scene with Vincent Kartheiser, because the whole digging up the Soul Eater and them coming back and like sharing a laugh over the whole misadventure.
Yeah.
They were total broing out.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was very much like a buddy cop thing. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this thing is alive. And how it almost takes Connor's soul, which was interesting. Before they,
I loved Wesley's. You guys are gonna have to go make sure there's no skin. So, Toodles, I'm gonna be over here researching.
Researching Fred, am I right?
Yeah, when Wesley finds out
That's
the gun.
gross.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend your delicate sensibilities?
I love how Wesley totally
Illyrio.
admits that he's like not. He's like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not happy that you guys are broken up, but just completely like makes a move on her in the office.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the body isn't even cold.
Exactly. Ugh. Makes me just roll
It's
my
like
eyes.
somebody need to take a course, okay, about
That's like what I was saying for the last episode we recorded. I was talking about I started watching Party of Five. I don't know why. But I was getting every episode they break up and get back together with different people. It's just so ridiculous.
That's what those shows were about, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a full episode goes by and they're already like
Try
falling
to
for
watch 2 random episodes back to back of Melrose Place. Your head will explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim, didn't you watch the last season of Dawson's Creek with me and Steph? You
did.
should have known by then.
And you're still alive?
I have not watched a single episode of that show.
It's great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was fun to talk about. So the mystery of Angel not remembering and how they're not able to find any sort of research on the Beast is cleared up a little bit here, because whoever is pulling the strings has wiped everything out from this dimension.
What? I wonder who that could be.
Yep.
I wonder who that could be.
And it also explains why the Beast decided to go wipe out Wolfram and Hart and was in pursuit of Lila, because these guys are that whole place is very resourceful, and if any place is going to have a lot of knowledge. I mean, they got the lady from Progressive working in the basement.
That's
in charge
right.
of all the archives.
Flo.
So,
And also, it kind of explains why she slept with Connor. Sort
What?
of.
You
Well,
think that her
please,
sleeping with
Steph, go
Connor
ahead and
was
tell us
part of
how-
her long con?
I mean, I don't know why she did, but
By the way, do you
I
think
mean,
that's what Connor calls it? His long con? I'm just asking.
but it's it's
Yeah, it's been over 7 years of podcasting with Kim. I finally made her puke. Good night, everyone.
Sorry, Steph.
But I mean, I don't know why she did, but it's not Cordy.
Oh yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay.
What are you talking about? It's not Cordy.
Or it's not
What?
the Cordy we know. It's not our
Right.
Cordy.
Cordy is not acting the right way.
No.
Well, maybe she just doesn't want to live up to your expectations. Maybe she's flawed. Maybe she never asked to be held up to these high standards, you guys.
Hey, I didn't say anything.
But our Cordy would not have slept with Connor, who she was just changing his diapers a few weeks
It's
ago.
very confusing.
I am
because she
against-
acts very Cordy-like.
I'm against slut shaming, and I'm also against MILF shaming. I just
I'm
want
against
that on the
kink
record.
shaming.
What about diaper shaming?
What?
I'm against diaper shaming unless there's a fee and consent.
God.
How did we get here?
Never mind.
Because I interrupted Robin's thought.
Damn
No.
you, Steph.
But
Never
I
do that
wonder,
again.
Steph, I hadn't actually thought about that, Steph, because I want
Yeah.
maybe this will be revealed in the future that it was all part of it. But in my mind, okay, so I guess this whole idea that she had amnesia, I guess, may have been bullshit, and that she
No way.
knew what she was doing the whole time, and ever since the moment she got back, this was her plan. Oh my God!
But they didn't know that they were going to bring Angelus back. No.
No, I think but Kim, I think what this presupposes is that Cordy's entire return has been her plotting against the LA Scoob gang.
You think so?
Well, that's what I'm led to believe.
Mm.
I just wonder, I guess sleeping with Connor makes it, I guess, guarantees friction between Connor and Angel?
I don't know.
Actually, it would be friction between Connor and Cordy.
Not according to Kartheiser's report.
Oh.
So when, so I guess she summoned the beast then.
But didn't they say that maybe the beast wasn't the one in charge?
Yeah,
Yes,
someone
it-
said there's someone bigger. I guess that's Cordy.
Maybe.
Oh.
Somebody, the beast.
Are you
gave,
fat shaming?
No, not at all.
The beast gave somebody this knife made from his bones, and that knife made its way into Lila's neck at the end of the episode. And I only saw one person holding that knife, and that was Cordy.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Are you saying
don't
there's a
follow.
connection between Cordy and the beast?
I'm saying that Ben is Cordy.
What?
Cordy is Ben.
You're crazy.
Ben and Glory, Ben and Glory.
I mean, I don't want to like point things out to you guys.
No. You don't have
I'm-
to point things out. I think I'm on the right track.
There's been things that have happened that you go, okay, who has been the one behind some of the propelling of things happening? I'm not, and I'm definitely not saying it all makes sense because rewatching it, I've been having conversations like, what? Okay, all right.
Yeah, because like Cordy was there all the time. How did she do all of this?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking maybe she's not no longer all powerful.
But then how'd she
Yeah.
make her eyes turn white?
Huh?
Never mind.
Her eyes turned white.
Yeah, because she's all powerful.
But you said she's not all powerful.
No, she's not. No, I have too many negatives. She is still all powerful. She's faking.
Everybody's faking.
What?
Did she send the beast to kill the priestesses? Who killed the priestesses?
Well, the Beast had a problem killing the priestesses back in Prussia,
Yeah.
1789. So that means maybe somebody else did.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
Cordy was there, so she couldn't have done it.
was Cordy there the entire time? Were you
But
watching?
again, you guys, she's all powerful.
And who stole the soul? Where's the soul?
Cordy took it. She knows the combination.
I mean, how about the whole? I mean, we were talking about Long Day's Journey and how Angel and Cordy had a drink, and all of a sudden Manny got murdered. So,
And we thought that we were led to believe that Angel was a sleeper agent.
Yeah, no.
which was a great. Well, I thought that was a great
That was
manipulation.
definitely Cordy now, I think.
Yeah. So you see, like, a lot of different things are falling into place. And again, I don't know if they all fall into place, but
So Angelus lets it slip in front of Fred that Wesley and Lila have been stooping.
Again, why is she jealous? She just broke up with Gunn.
Well, but
45
at
It's
first
not
she thought it was
jealous.
funny.
It's
She thought
not
it was
It's not
jealousy.
jealousy.
It's
It was
disgust.
meant to make her think less of Wesley.
Yes.
Yeah. Because she
Because
thought it was ridiculous at
Fred
first,
likes
and then she
slut
looked at
shaming
him like she was
Wesley.
disgusting.
Yeah. Annoying.
Yeah.
There was an extra scene filmed
Really? What was in the extra scene?
that Angelus killed Lila in order to keep the secret that Cordy was whatever. Was what? Blah blah blah.
was evil.
Yeah.
that Cordy stabbed Lila.
All right. So Cordy's evil and Jealous is there. So they're totally going to be boyfriend and girlfriend now, right?
I did, I remember watching this the first time, and when Angelus like leaves the hotel and says, "I'm gonna go save the world" or something,
Oh,
like
so good.
I was thinking, "Oh my god, is this show gonna be just like Angelus, like in charge of the team and pretending to be Angel?" And like, how
I hope
interesting
so.
would that be?
I hope so.
Well, I mean, his cover is kind of blown by.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, they went after him and everything. But yeah, this again, the sad thing about this this whole thing is that people knew from the beginning of the season that Angelus was coming back. like it was promoted as such. I think the picture that I posted in the Facebook group is to remind people to send in feedback. Like that was like a promo shot, I believe, for the season of him just kind of reaching out. So the Angelus chasing Lila through the hotel. Apparently, they wanted it to be reminiscent of another chase through darkened hallways back in Buffy. Jenny Callender's death, and you're waiting for that same payoff, and somehow Lila ends up knocking him down the stairs, runs down a hallway, and then is jumped by Cordy.
That's
I didn't
insane.
think about that at all.
Yeah.
Like my mind never went there. Like that's if they were trying to elicit that memory, they failed.
Yeah.
That never occurred to me.
I don't know. It's just the whole Angelus chasing woman. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a little too thin for me. I was like, I don't know, you gotta like maybe set up the shots to be similar or something, but like
have them do it in a high school.
Also, I was thinking to myself, like, where is Stephanie Romanoff now? Like, she's so great on this show. And I looked at her IMDb, and she does like 4 direct-to-video movies after this.
What?
Aww.
And that's about it.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Maybe
was going to speak out against Josh Whedon. He put a kibosh to that.
She says...
or maybe she just had a family.
Well, she did have a child in 2005. But but it's just kind of like, wow, she's so great in this show. She says here, I thoroughly enjoyed working on Calvary. The range of emotions I got to play was in many ways a culmination of Lila from the beginning of her time on the show right to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get her and the actress who played Kate mixed up.
How?
Which one of them came out as gay? Is it Stephanie Romanov?
I don't think so.
Okay, I know one of them did.
Must have been Elizabeth Rome. I don't know.
Okay, maybe it was.
I
I was thinking that like if it had been Stephanie Romanov, that maybe because of that it would be harder to, like, maybe she wouldn't be cast in stuff as much, because that happens
At that time, yeah.
I guess I really want to ask you guys again, like, what was your reaction when Cordy stabbed Lila in the neck?
I would disbelief, complete disbelief.
I mean,
I was completely shocked. I went, what? Like, exactly like that. And then
this was,
and I'm like, damn it.
this was years ago. So like I'm trying to remember, but I think it was just like I don't think I ever remember like saying anything. I think I just like my mouth just sort of hung open. I was like, and then and then it was immediate, and then this episode was immediately over, and I was like, but
it was that, plus I'm confused. I'm like, why? Like, why?
Yeah. Why is Cordy not like Lila?
Why did you want to go and do a thing like that for?
RJ Martinez in the chat says, I was shocked.
So he's still
shocked and appalled.
He still is shocked.
Yeah, I was also shocked. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it, and I remember saying to myself out loud, "Holy shit!"
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, like, oh my god.
She called her a bitch too.
I know.
Yep.
That was great. Oh, I loved it.
Everybody called everybody a bitch in this episode.
Yeah, but that was like doubly offensive because she like stabbed her in the neck, and then she's like,
"You bitch."
It's nothing like being like murdered by somebody you did not expect it from at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my God, Lila must be so embarrassed. What? Cordy? Cordy is the one who stabbed me? What the fuck? Thank God all my colleagues are dead.
Oh gosh, that is
I would
so
never live this
funny
down.
You're saying that. So funny you're saying that. Oh, that reminds me of something that's coming in the future. I will just leave it at that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Future.
Can't say anything.
Fine, fine. Hey, did we get any feedback?
Oh yes. Some emails here, a couple emails.
If it's not about how great I am, I don't want to hear it.
All right.
Well, this one's from Bruce.
Same.
He says, first of all, John Pavlich, what a guy.
Yay! Hello, new best friend.
I smell editorial.
Okay. He goes, Jeepers Creepers, Cordelia. I knew she never liked Lila, but that was one elaborate plan just to get rid of her. Or I guess it could be something else. I hope all the Angelus fans enjoyed both episodes. They're both full of exposition, but soulless is one I endure in order to get to Calvary. The episode title probably refers to Merriam-Webster's second definition of Calvary, an experience of intense mental suffering. Actually, I have trivia here for that, Bruce.
Having been to Calgary, Alberta, yep.
The title Calvary references the site outside Jerusalem where Jesus Christ was allegedly crucified. Another name for the place Calvary is Golgotha, which means the place of a skull. So among other possible reasons for the writers to choose this title, Charles Gunn and Connor go to a site where Soul Eater has been buried, chop off his head, and prepare its skull for the re-ensouling ritual, hence making that scene a Golgotha, a place of a skull.
RJ
Oh.
Martinez confirms he still is shocked after all this time. Buffy
Yes.
Summers says, "Oh my God, Robin, I was thinking that too. The thing that I guess you were thinking in the future."
Oh,
And
yeah.
RJ Martinez adds, "I love the Oedipus line."
Oh, yeah, so good. Among other things, the secret's out about what happened to Professor Seidel. Nicely done by Angelus, and his timing of the Wesley Lila reveal was perfect. Manilow didn't record Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head until 2006. Maybe Angelus knew it from the Forrest Gump soundtrack.
What? Yeah.
And he says the quotes, because I'm, parentheses, almost, parentheses, free, nothing's worrying me. Is that from the song? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Sure.
Do y'all not know Raindrops? Do y'all not know this song?
Yeah.
I know the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Butch Cassidy.
Yeah.
Riding around
While
on
he's
bikes.
riding out on a bike. So weird. I was like, I'm watching a Western, and yet
Ray says, Soulless, for the most part, I find it pretty fun to watch all the characters have their one-on-one conversations with Angelus. I do feel like some of Angelus's dialogue is a little bit off, though. Maybe it's just because he didn't have to carry as much of the show or talk as much in season 2 of Buffy, but I think that a lot of Angelus's lines here walk a fine line between creepy and corny. For the most part, they land pretty well, but occasionally a line would make me kind of roll my eyes. I think one of the Angelus's first lines is Angel Smangel, which kills me. So for that reason, Angelus feels just slightly different to me than he did on Buffy. I don't know, Ray. I just rewatched Buffy season 2, and Angelus is freaking obnoxious during that season, and I think it was pretty on point.
He has no problem being corny because he's just that evil. It's like, I don't care. I'm going to slaughter all of you. I don't like.
Yeah.
And he's old.
Yes.
True.
He continues, but I think overall it's a success. You have Angelus push everyone's buttons, call out all the gang secrets, and revel in the misery that he's causing everyone. And in general, it's just fun to have Angelus back. I don't think Wesley is picking a great time to make his move on Fred, though. But I guess he figures the world could end at any minute, so there's no time to waste. Calvary, I had some of the same problems with Angelus's dialogue in this one, but oh well. R.I.P. Lila. She has grown from a character that I didn't care that much for to one of my favorites. The way that she is so unapologetic about being a bad person and that she's always just looking out for herself is great. Heck, I even grew to enjoy her relationship with Wesley. I'm going to miss her going forward, but I'll say that her death is quite the oh shit moment and a great cliffhanger. Cordelia just straight up murdered her. What do the newbies think of that?
Again, because it's so out of character for Cordelia, I don't think it's Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling she might be possessed in some way or under some sort of a spell. I honestly don't know. I'm just coming up with rando theories.
She got
right now.
power drunk. She got given all them powers.
Yeah,
She got drunk with power.
I really don't have a plausible or good theory at all.
It could be that the spin the bottle curse didn't break on her, and this is exactly how like 16-year-old spoiled Cordelia would act.
Interesting.
Start murdering people. He finishes up saying, the things have gone from bad to worse. The beast is still out there, and now Angelus is loose in the world as well. Ray. Thanks, Ray. And thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about with this episode? There's got to be some more stuff here. The Shumash tribe that's where the Soul Eater is buried, which is, of course, a reference to the Buffy episode Pangs, the Thanksgiving episode.
Corey in the chat says Cordelia is the first evil.
Spoilers. I don't know. Oh, I do love that right before Lila, like right as Angelus is set on Lila and he's got her on the floor, she like immediately is like, hey, let's make a deal. Like, let's partner up. You know, you might need me. I don't know if there's anything else I really wanted to mention. the fact that the Beast is Dominion. We talked about that. That the Beast usually is just known for just murdering everything. He just doesn't do a bunch of like Rain of Fire rituals or anything like that. That's not what he's known for. So
it's all Cordy, man. Cordy. She's the worst.
Apparently.
Trying to find the reference here, and I'm not going to have it without Google. She's the Mark Singer. And you either get that or you don't. I'm sorry.
I got it. That's funny.
Thank you. That's all I have, guys. What do you got? Anything else?
That was great. I love this episode.
Yay! Somebody's got the YouTube on.
Has the YouTube on. And she's on the call twice somehow.
My
hate it when
phone
you
that
do
crap
that.
off.
Huh?
My phone cannot last an entire Redemption cast.
I think it's time for ratings.
All right. Guest.
Yeah, I thank you. It's good because I have to go in like 10 or so minutes. I love this episode. It's a great companion piece to Soulless, and it just carries over all of the things that made Soulless great. And that twist at the end is just so mind-blowingly fantastic. And it's not because it's completely out of left field. Like if you watch the episode again, knowing what you know now, like they do hint at some things, with like Cordy's behavior and some of the things she says. But I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. Pointless skulls. Yeah, that'll work. Because they didn't end up needing it. It did nothing. They went to all that trouble for nothing.
Yeah, for some reason, Angelus could beat the Lauren singing test too.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Illyrio, you want to go next?
Yeah, this was a 10 for me. Angelus escapes, fools people into thinking he's Angel, and Cordy stabbed a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Wow!
I love that.
That's all I got.
The frustration of Angelus grabbing that little girl and realizing that's just another vampire.
Yeah.
Damn it! He's like
There's
ready
a
to
quote
rampage.
There's a quote there.
I was in. Kim?
Well, like I like this episode even more than last episode in places.
Ooh.
And in other places not so much. I will say I do like Soulless better because whatever. But I enjoyed the bit at the end. Well, before the end, when we find that Angel is not Angel, it's still Angelus.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, oh, come on. You can't have him for only one episode. You can't, guys. You can't do this to me. And they didn't. And I was just so like, you should see the notes that I have for these two episodes. Like
I'd love to.
Like last week, if you thought my notes were crazy, like, okay, let's see if I can read this for you. I'm like, Angelus is back. I love him so much. 12 exclamation points. And like, I'm circling like, LOL, so funny. LOL, great. And then I write, I still hate Connor. WTF. And I actually wrote rape. And then I was like, what?
Which is a good reaction to that.
Like complete scramblings of a mad woman here, but I was so into these last 2 episodes. It was so good. And I remember a part that distinctly made me laugh out loud where Leslie and uh, Fred were like about to kiss again, and then Lila shows up. She's like, "Any progress?" And the way that Wes like audibly sighs, he's like, "Ugh." It just made me laugh so hard.
I'm so thirsty.
It's so good. And but no, long story short, I really enjoyed this. It was a great episode. It was fantastic. I'm gonna give it obviously 10 out of 10 more peons.
More peons?
Yeah, isn't that what it was called? The thing that the soul was trapped in?
I don't think so.
Paste? Isn't that what they said at the beginning?
It was
Container.
shit, I have it written down.
I think it's more peon. That's what I wrote down.
No, it's Mo Ping. Mo Ping.
Yeah, close. See, that's exactly
It's
what I
not
said.
more peon.
Guys, you guys are mean. That's exactly what I said.
It's not like you could prove it otherwise either.
Like,
Yeah.
check the tape. That's what I said.
Did you have a lot of beer and watermelon before doing this show, and so your mind is elsewhere?
OMG. It was so. Wait a second. Yeah, no. Or I can say 10 out of 10 Darth Vampires, because that was a good
Steph.
I don't know if you're going to get my reference here, but remember when they went to get, what's his name?
Wopang?
Wang Chung? Wu-Pang.
Wang
Wow.
Racist.
guys, really?
Wu-Pang. They went to get Wu-Pang, and he was doing Tai Chi over that roadkill. So when they go to get him again to see what his backup plan is for when they lose the soul, he is playing like Tiddlywinks. So
Really?
I give it 10 out of 10 metaphysical games of Tiddlywinks.
All right.
All right. Well, God, this is like a crazy episode of Redemption Cast because we're gonna have 10s across the board, and 10s for me, 10 for me too.
We're all the Russian judge, and this episode is a Russian ice skater.
I mean, you know, you could say, it was kind of like not as good as the last one, so why give it a 10? But man, that ending is so great
So good.
and so just crazy. You're just like, what the hell is going on here? So I'm just gonna give it 10 out of 10. Suck you bitches.
Okay, steal my quote. Go ahead.
Yeah, mine too. Bastardo.
Aw.
Hey, it's code time. John, go do.
Well, I already gave my quote for this episode earlier, but I'll do another one.
Yeah, do another one.
Maybe I'll sprout wings and flutter away.
Okay.
Very
Where's that from? I can't remember.
That's he's when he's still in the cage, and they're saying I think it's just before they're going to do the spell or whatever. And I don't remember what I think it's Fred like says something like, "Oh, maybe so and so," and Angelus just goes, "And maybe I'll sprout wings and flutter away."
How did you survive this long being so retarded?
Wow.
Wait, is it time for my quote?
Yeah.
Wait, who was that directed towards?
Zing.
Who was that again? Was it Wesley? Fred? Gunn?
What, that line? That was
Yeah.
in Angelus.
No, but
Well,
who's he talking to?
Saying it too.
I think he was talking like Fred and Wesley, right?
Okay. Oh man.
Must acquire better guards.
Yay! Yay! I love that quote so much. That was great.
Kim, I'm hoping you don't have my quote. I've been good so far. Go ahead.
Well, I said mine was the "suck you bitch" quote, and then I wrote, I meant to go back, but I didn't. I wrote 16:10 left. Lauren's quote. Go back and write it down, which I didn't. And then there was one where I kind of went, oh, and it was when Angela says to Gunn, for the first time in your life, you just weren't dark enough. Oh, shit!
Yeah, see, that was the one I did earlier that I thought was from Solus, and it turned out to be from this episode.
Yeah.
So you got your quote stolen twice, Kim.
I know.
She took it back. It's okay.
I had another. What was my other one? No, there was the rape one, and then there was Guns wrote. I wrote Gun. I'm tired of you looking everywhere but at me. I was like, you're such a 14-year-old girl.
I know it cracks me up because he goes when they come in and she looks over and he goes like that. And I'm like, they just walked in the door. Any person would involuntarily look towards the door when someone comes in. Like, jeez, get over yourself.
Right. Corey in the chat says, I think that was directed at Tormund Giantsbane.
All right, my quote is, sometimes you just got to keep whacking.
Yeah.
My honorable mention is, I bet you Wes would never hit her. He's all proper in English. And that accent, ooh, chicks just love a good accent. Makes them all buttery in their nether regions. Isn't that right, Fred? You know, I had a bit of an Irish brogue back in the day. If you like, I can use it on you when I rape you to death.
Crazy shit.
How do they say that on television?
I'm wondering if they
quietly,
if they had something else in mind planned in case it didn't get away. Because I noticed when he was doing that little bit of his little monologue, it was him on the TV screen really far away, so that you couldn't really read his lips. So I thought, oh, maybe they had another line 80-yard ready to go just in case it didn't get passed, or approved. Because I was I was just like, what? Like, I was like, how did he say that? What? Like, it was too much.
Too much.
But it's Angela, so I liked it.
Yep, same. It was awful. It was awful. It was perfect.
All right, I'm gonna have to have my. I'm gonna do my backup quote before you wrap this up, Valeria. It's look at yourself, Lila. All these years wanting to meet me, you couldn't run a comb through your hair, maybe slap on a little lipstick. Evil doesn't have to mean sloppy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What a jerk.
That was great. Yeah. If you want to send us feedback, you can send us an email at
RedemptionCast@gmail.com.
We're on Twitter, twitter.com/RedemptionCast. Check out the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/potentialcast. Keep it spoiler free, please. And no, we don't want to know how to get the new iPhone for $40. No, we don't. So keep the spam out of our face. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, so I think... Oh, and if you're interested in all of our back episodes, they're available at redemptioncast.blogspot.com. That's where you can find our episodes. Hey, what's on the slate for next time?
Oh, next time? All right. There's a reaction. Okay, so let me get to
bias reaction.
Next time we have 32 episodes left, just to tell you. The next
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Next two episodes we have to watch are Salvage and Release.
I'm so excited for what's coming for you guys. I know something you don't know.
I think I know something that was spoiled on the cover of something.
Oh.
But we'll see.
Boo.
That's not fair.
Man.
Hopefully the Spanish people don't leak the episodes.
The Spaniards. Nobody expects the Spanish HBO leak. Hey, John, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to promote?
Yes, I would. Thank you. I have my flagship podcast, Sofa Dogs, which I've been doing for a little over 10 years now.
Wow.
It's at sofadogs.libsyn.com. I'm also on Twitter at John Pavlich. And you go to the website and there's all kinds of other things, fun stuff there. Like I have my YouTube channel, I have my Etsy store, and I have my GoFundMe campaign. So go there and check all that fun stuff out. And if you feel so inclined, maybe you can donate some stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, John. We appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Good talking to you again.
Yeah, I miss you guys.
Well, we're back, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note,
We're living again.
Namaste.
Bye.
see you later.
Bye.